Pumphreys Bridge is a historical landmark that is a stark reminder of how harsh life was for the early settlers of the region. This is the story of William and Catherine Pumphrey, which arrived from England in 1854. They had 4 children and all, 3 sons and 1 daughter. Living first at Pajero, the family ended up clearing land for a farm at the present site of Pumphreys Bridge, known then as Hotham Crossing. William and his wife worked hard on the land, and it looked like they were building a secure future for the family until William's wife died from an asthma attack in 1885, aged 58. William stayed on working the property until he was in the early 60s, at which time he retired to Pajero to live with his by now married daughter Eliza. William's son John had been away working, but returned to Pumphreys Bridge at the age of 34 with his new bride. Their father away droving, the children had been lucky indeed that someone had chanced to come along and find them as they were just 5 and 2 years old. When John Sr. returned to find his wife dead, he could not cope with the children. There was no one to look after them at the homestead, and he had to leave again to find work. His son was given up to a home, and his daughter went to live with a nearby neighbour. John Sr. lived on his own until 1908, when he died in Pajero from the effects of pneumonia. He was just 54 years old. 2 years later, his father, William, died from heart failure at the age of 84. John Jr. fought in the First World War and lived until 1950. Like his father, he died young, only 56 years old. Francis lived on until 1976, but never returned to Pumphreys Bridge. After a succession of owners over the years, the old house fell into disrepair. But in 1989 it was purchased and refurbished, a project that took until 1994. The grave of Catherine Pumphrey is not the only lonely grave site near Wandering. There are at least a dozen others known to exist along the roadsides and buildings in the area. Pumphreys Bridge is now a designated campsite. There are toilets, phone reception, fires are allowed at the right time of year, and there's plenty of room for vans, etc. But you'll need to check with the Shire for booking and cost details. It's now time for us to leave Pumphreys Bridge and head to the Dryandra Woodlands so we can have a bit of a look around and Go and find a campsite somewhere. Welcome to Dryandra Woodland. 17 separate bush blocks that make up Dryandra Woodland are among the largest and most valuable for wildlife conservation in the western wheatbelt. Many species commonly found in Dryandra are rare elsewhere in the wheatbelt. The woodland provides a refuge for a diversity of wildlife. Mammals found at Dryandra include WA state mammal emblem, the numbat, as well as the woylie, tamar, wallaby and red-tailed phascagal. Dryandra is also home to over 100 species of birds and 51 species of reptiles. Plant communities include open woodlands of wandu and powderbark, plantation of mallet, pockets of jarrah, mallee, sheoak and quangan, the Aboriginal word for heath. Listen to warbling magpies, screeching 28 parrots, or the eerie sounds of the wind whispering through the sheoak thickets. Watch out for clues to the presence of woodland animals such as diggings, droppings, scratchings on trees and bites and nibbles on nuts and leaves. Absorb the sights, sounds and smells of woodland and enjoy your visit.
One of these days we'll give back the time we borrowed. One of these nights I won't worry about tomorrow. One of these moments will stick in my mind. And one of these afternoons, I swear, we'll get up and we'll leave this time. We'll never make it very far. I like you riding in my car with your banjo on your knee. I like you singing my songs back to me. I'm trying to stay between the lines that you read on my palms. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire, and I'm trying to stay calm. It's funny how life is what you give and what you take. It's funny how waiting around is just another big mistake. It's funny how everything's a circle coming back again. So we laugh at ourselves when we pass ourselves coming round the bend. We never make it very far. I like you riding in my car with your banjo on your knee. I like you singing my songs back to me. I'm trying to stay between the lines that you read on my palms. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire, and I'm driving around this town trying to put the flames out. When the sun goes down, you know I'm doused in doubt, but I think that you're the only one who will be.
Not very often you get to see these little buggers out in the wild. This little champ here is digging himself in because he's seen us. Defensive mechanism. They burrow themselves down so they can just have just their spine sticking out to protect themselves. Very effective.
My songs back to me, trying to stay between the lines that you read on my palm. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire, and I'm trying to stay calm.
taken a while to cook, but I think the results will certainly have been worth the wait. Time for us to say goodbye to this awesome little campsite and start making our way back. Quick stop in Narrogin for fuel first, then we'll see what points of interest we can find for you along the way. Quick stop on the way home, Stirling Dam, with a bit of a look-see. Last time I came out here was in the truck, dropping off a 740 Arctic dump truck when they were doing all the extensions. Interesting to see the finished result.